Kill this bastard fly. Fuck off. That's it. Out. Out of the window. Out of the window. Thank you. Okay, how's the chat looking now? What's up, Lucian? Welcome to the stream. So, welcome once again, ladies and gentlemen. Home Alone Dobbsy, as always, is back and here to cook some more food. Now, you may be thinking, what is today? What is on the menu today? Because Dobbsy did a stream this morning, so we need to try and do something else besides just playing Rise of the Ronin for the time being. So I thought to myself, fuck it. You guys deserve another fun episode of good old classic Cooking with Dobbsy. So yeah, you guys deserve it. You might as well have some fun with me. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Now, what is today's recipe that I've decided to cook with this? So, I'm going to be doing some, well, I especially got it ordered. Well, my parents ordered it for me because I had no idea how to order it, but I pretty much got it anyway. I got myself some A5 Black Cow Wagyu steak. It wasn't just a steak, it was actually a whole entire joint. You may be thinking it doesn't look like what you see in Japan, I think that's because it's different. It's not the piece of meat that you get in Japan, like, you know, where it's all marble and everything. This is like a different part of the cow, so yeah. And a lot of people may be thinking, you're using green! You're using green! You bastard! Home cook, you don't need to worry about it. And anyway, when you finish using raw meat, you flip it over to the next side anyway, so don't you guys worry about that. I pretty much portioned these joints anyhow because I had a big massive chunk of it, and I've already portioned it and put it in the freezer just to keep it secured. And make sure you get rid of the blood, okay? There we go. Now, all I can say is, people, this piece of meat is very, very fattening, but it's also delicious. Now, what I would do though, just to get rid of any moisture from the steak, even though I've kept it secured, I did pat it dry originally, but I know for certain it does need to suck up more of the moisture off the steak. Because if you go ahead and cook it when there's still piss and blood, it's just going to coagulate and it's not going to taste absolutely amazing. You pat it dry, you'll have a better steak, and you'll have better flavour as well. And as you guys know me very well, I do love butchering. I've been butchering meat for God knows how many years. I freaking love it. So yeah, it's one thing I do love doing. I want to go ahead and move the vegetables to the side. We can do the vegetables last. Don't you guys worry. We'll pep up the steak first. So, as you can see, it's completely different on what you think when it comes to Wagyu steaks. Because Wagyu steaks that you've seen on the internet, and especially on YouTube and all that type of stuff, it's extremely fatty and it's got an insane amount of marble effect on it. This one doesn't, because this is a different part of the cow. It's not like here or anything, it's more like around here and everything. So, it's a good piece of the joint. But what I'm going to be doing now, I'm just going to be trimming off that excess of fat. And I'll be using it as oil. Yep, no Jamie olive oil here tonight, people. No Jamie olive oil. Ah, Jamie, you ruined the meat again with olive oil. So all I'm doing is trimming off the fat off the steak, because we'll be using the actual fat as the oil. So I'm just going to go. All you need to do, grip it, and don't tear it, because if you tear it, you'll tear the meat anyway. But just slightly score it as you go along, so the fat is off the actual steak. And there we go. Easy. Easy as pie. And you have one big massive lump of fat. Now what I'm going to be doing, I just need to trim off that meat off the fat, because I know if you leave that meat on the fat whilst you're trying to render it, it loses the oil because it'll suck up into the actual steak itself. So I'm going to be taking a good chunk of it off. There we go. So, we've got our lovely piece of steak. Beautiful as anything. Perfect. I do want to trim it a little bit though. There we go. And what I need to do now is to maneuver it to a different plate. There we go. Very nice. Move the camera a little bit more so you guys can see it better. And now we've got the fat. Now the fat, like I said, is extremely melty. It's even melting on my fingertips. Okay, you can see it's already indented. I've only done a little bit of work on it. That is it. And that is where the fun is going to start coming through when we start to cook the actual steak, because that fat is going to be melting like there's no tomorrow. And that's going to be the best bit of oil you could ever think of. It's like beef fat. It's like beef dripping, almost, if you know what I'm saying. So yeah, it's very delicious. It's very nice. And it prevents you from using any other types of nasty oils that you don't like using. Massive apologies to the people who are vegan. Do not watch this video, because this is nothing but meat. Don't worry though, there will be some vegetables later on, but look at that fat. It's a lot of fat, okay? So yeah, a lot of fatness in here. So there you have it. You have your normal steak, and then you have the fat trippings, which we're going to be using for the oil. Simple, very easy, very delicious. Once again, clean up your side. And like I said, you turn it over. You got a new board. You don't need to waste any type of maneuvering, okay, people? Just work with what you have. You don't have any chopping. If you don't have a lot of chopping boards, you don't have enough chopping boards. That's your way of life. That's the way you gotta work. Not with me, because I've been working in this type of business for so many years. I get loads of them. Time for a big plate for the veggies. First off, depends on how you want it. You can either have it slicing or you can have it in cubes. For me, I prefer slices. One more mushroom. Go. Nice bit of mushroom right there, people. Love it. Place it straight on the plate so you know it's all ready to go. Next up, one piece of bell pepper. That's all I need. Pop out the seeds and devein the white pith. The white pith is quite bitter, so you don't want to use that. If you want to use it, perfectly fine, but I refuse not to use it. And also, for people who want to try and learn stuff, do not cut like this, because you're not going to get anywhere. Flip it over to its, even though it's seesawing, always grab it. Grab it, as you guys can see. Simple. And you got yourself some cubed peppers. Now, whilst I'm at it, I might as well get the rice going. There you go. Next up, zucchini. I love my zucchini. What happened there? The rice fell over. There we go. Pretty much I only want cylinders. That's all I need. Half of them. It's gonna be crazy that today we're gonna be streaming 3 times, people. We streamed once this morning. We're doing a cooking with Dobbsy episode, and then we're gonna continue streaming Rise of the Ronin. God, so much to do, people. So much to do. But hey, I like doing it. Next up, spring onion. De-dress it. Make sure there's no debris. There isn't. I I hear Chef Mike calling. Next up, garlic. Now, I like to ask people, how do you guys cut your garlic? Simplest thing, garlic. A lot of people don't like using it because it's too strong or it smells. It gives you a really, really strong odor. Yes, it does. But it's one of my absolute favourite ingredients in any type of cooking. I love garlic. You can have 1 clove of garlic, you can have 2 cloves of garlic, you can have a whole bulb if you really want to. But be warned, it's going to be the biggest pain in the ass if you're going to have a whole bulb of garlic in your dinner. Unless you have the cooking for a massive family. Today, we're going to be cooking with this much. That's all. That is pretty much 2 cloves of garlic right here. And the most simplest thing ever, how do you remove the skin of the garlic without you ruining yourself? You can either tap it with a knife or just use your palm. If you don't like using your palm, you just use the knife. So I'll show you with one of them and I'll show you with the other. 3 taps and it's fully off. Ta-da! Simple as that. Or you could be a barbarian and you don't like using knives, you use your hand. It does crush the garlic, of course, but once again, it removes the skin. That is it. So it's up to you. Whichever way you want to do it, you can use your knife to tap it off, or you can use your fist. It's up to you. Now, with me, you can either mince it, which a lot of people do, which is just like crushing it with a blade and mincing it down, or you can just finely chop it. For me, I'm just going to be finely chopping it because that's how I want it. Now, a lot of other people would use other types of spices, different type of onions and all that type of stuff, like ginger, galangal, all that type of goodness. I don't use that much with like garlic, with ginger or anything. I just like garlic. But I can understand why people like ginger too. It's a lovely spice, but it can be quite strong, same as garlic. I prefer, like I said, garlic than the good old ginger, but still, it's up to you. It's your preference. I have here as well some bean sprouts. I've had them soaked all day just to get rid of any type of sticky odor or thingy, because these were packaged and everything, bought from Mazda. But I've drained them off just so they are a bit more crispier than being soggy. Main sauces, good old. I almost fucking shattered it. Teriyaki, dark soy, and good old light soy. You can't go wrong with them 3 ingredients for any type of stir fry and all that shizness. So, what is going to be cooked first? That is the question. Now, can you guys see me better? Now you can. I'll tell you what, I should really get myself a proper tripod when it comes to my camera. Not my camera, for my tablet and everything. I have myself 2 pans. 1 for the vegetables, 1 for the meat. This one is going to be for the steak. This one's going to be for the vegetables. So you may be thinking how I'm going to get this all prepped up. Like I said, the fat is going to be the oil. And it's going to be for all of it. I am not going to be using any olive oil whatsoever. The main thing I want to do first is preheat the small pan and get the fat on there now, okay? So like I said, the fat, the best bit of the steak. I'm not saying for eating, but for usage. I'm literally going to pop all the fat in this pan to render all of it so I get the actual oil from it. Like I said, it's already melting in my hands. So wait until you see it when it starts melting. It's going to be insane. It's already starting. Holy crap, people. It's already starting to melt already. I can see it. I've only preheated the pan for literally not even 2 minutes yet. And I'm just going to push these upwards and let it tilt and let it have the fat coming through. Have a low heat, like I said. And get yourselves prepared, people, because this is going to be so nice. Nobody in the chat yet, so that's alright. Nobody's chatting. Oh, that fat is going well. It's slowly seeping through. That is really, that's a lot of oil that's coming out of that fat, which is good. But whilst that is rendering, I'm just going to quickly season my steak that I want. Now, like I said, you do get a lot of soy sauce and all that lot, but like I said, the soy sauce and everything is going to go into the rice and the vegetables, not on the steak. So, generous amount of salt on both sides. When people say, oh, that's too much salt, when it comes to seasoning your steaks, you definitely want to make sure it is fully seasoned well. From beginning to start, okay? That's all I'm saying, okay? Without it seasoned, it's not going to taste great. So yeah, prepare for that. I'm also seasoning the other two sides, just like that. Okay. And I'm not going to use any pepper just yet, because if you go ahead and put pepper on it right away, it's going to burn, and of course you're going to have a very bittery taste. So just be warned. So yeah, like I said, just season your steak, that's all you need. Bit of salt, you're good. If you guys are from America, use kosher salt if you really want to. But it's best to get yourself knowing on what you can do. The one thing I'm willing to do though is quickly transport the reduced fat ones that I'm not using now to a little compartment, because I'll be using it to give to my dog, because my dog is going to eat like a queen tonight, because she loves Wagyu beef. She loves it more than I do. She freaks out every time I'm cooking it, because she knows she's getting something good tonight. We're getting a lot of fat here, which is great. How's everybody coming along today? Is everybody enjoying? Everybody enjoying the episode today? Right. that's enough of the fat for me there. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to put a little bit of the oil, a little bit of the fat for the other pan, so it's ready for the actual vegetables. And we're going to now start cooking the steak now. Cooking in its own fat. Remember people, its own fat. No butter, no oil, nothing. It's just its own fat. The best thing to do as well, if you need to, just baste it a little bit. Just on top, just to give it a bit of touch. I'm only cooking the steak for the time being, because after that I'll let it rest, and then that's when I'll start moving on to the vegetables and everything, which doesn't take too long. Nice, that, looking good. Just going to tilt it a little bit, just start basting again. And I'll put the heat up a bit higher now, because now it's time to actually seal and cook it at the same time. Turn it over. Got a nice crust already, which is beautiful. I love it when a steak has got good crust. And if you guys can't see, I'll show you. There you go. Good crust. To be honest with you, I do love cooking with you guys. Even though there's not a lot of you watching, I don't care. I just like doing it for my own entertainment as well. Okay, that's looking good. Let's tilt it over again. Because after I've done this, and it's been nice to cook, I mean, slicing it and put it on top of rice, so it looks like a mega beef bowl, which I love. But you do want it more of a medium to medium rare type of steak for that to be done, because if you do it overcooked, it's not going to taste great. That's just what I'm saying. I'll tilt it one more time, and now it's time to go ahead and baste the steak and get it nicely coated. Okay, since that's now starting to cook, it's time to multitask. I have the oil that I've used from the fat on the beef. I'll tilt it even more. First thing I'm going to be putting in is the spring onion and the garlic. Now getting a bit smoky in here. But I'm just going to lower the heat down. I'm going to get the spring onions and everything all prepped up and mixed in with the beef fat. Got such a nice crust now, it's insanely good. just gonna move it over now. I know it's not fully cooked, but what I'm gonna do, splash that last bit of oil in with the vegetables so I know it's ready. Put water in that pan just so it can actually cool down and not get stuck onto the pan. Right. Whew, it's smoky in here now. There we go. Hot bean. Now they've been sweating for a little bit. I'll lower down the heat a little bit just so they don't burn and overcook. They're strong onions, make me teary-eyed. Let's go in and put in the eggplant and the peppers and the zucchini. Zucchinis will get stuck in everything, so like I said, just try and break them apart. Mix them up nicely. Next up, let's crack open the soy for both. Douse it. And douse it. Perfecto! Just like my mama used to make! Okay, now off the heat just so it doesn't start to char and overcook and burn. Teriyaki sauce. 1 and 2. 2 good globs of that. Will be very nice to put in it. I'm only doing it now before I put the mushrooms in because the mushrooms will suck it up anyway. And so will the bean sprouts. Bean sprouts are the quickest things to cook, so that's what I'm going to be doing. And in they go now, mushrooms. Whew. Mushrooms in they go. And again, mushrooms as well soak up the moisture, but also gives out its own moisture. It's all like mushroom flavour, which I love. I do love mushrooms a lot. Go. Give it a nice colour. How's everybody been doing today? What's up, Tiger Lily? Welcome to the stream. In we go with the bean sprouts. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Rice! Who likes rice? I do! In it goes! Now, if you did stir fry, do not use basmati rice. It's just what I have. I just like using basmati because it's tasty. But if you want to do like a proper stir fry, make sure you have rice that is a day old and it's dry. Don't have fresh rice because it won't work. Because it'll be soggy. But I don't mind this type of rice. My father right now will be like this. Oh, trying to act like Uncle Roger. Oh, Dobbsy, hi, what are you doing? causing pure emotional damage. Just need another little bit of a glog. And whoop, in it goes. Some soy. Whoop, and a little bit of dark. And a little bit of white. There we go. Right in the middle, stir it around. Get it straight in. Maneuver it around just so everything has its own mixture. And every bit of grain of rice has its own fair share of the sauce. I am the sauce. Sauce balls. Hope you guys are eating tonight. I'm sure I will be. Kill off the heat, because if you keep on letting it cook, the rice will cook even further and it'll become burnt. So, yeah, be warned. Time to put the teriyaki sauce away. And 2 soys away. Let's see in the pan. It's in the pan! Kill off the heat and let the rice suck up the rest of the sauce that it can do. Now, the proof is in the pudding. Now, for me touching it, it's still very rare. It's in the blue side, to be honest. It's quite under. However, when I cut it and I put it in the pot, it's going to start cooking even further. So, yeah. The steak is so fatty, it's insane. It's just giving out so much moisture. It's insane. Just so I can actually manoeuvre things around. There we go. Using the steak as a fucking mop. Told ya. I cook the way at home, not like I would do to the public, okay? I tell you what, it's in the rarer side, but that's actually really good. Because that will cook a little bit more where the rice is. Got a beautiful crust as well. That is good steak right there, people. Right there, very good steak. Just quickly stir the rice around. I'm going to probably put the heat back on for it a little bit, just so it can cook out some of the moisture out. Okay, one last thing to do. Bit of salt, only a little bit, and then finally a touch of the pepper. That is it. Cooked all the way through. Yummy! Can't go wrong there. It is a little bit bluer. Don't worry. Like I said, we're going to put it in there, and it'll cook it up a lot nicely as a little treat. And it's time to plate up. I'm loving this right now, people. Is literally all the vegetables and all that rice and all that sauce and everything fits well right on top of the bowl. How about that, eh? How about that then? Douse the pan with a bit of water just to prevent it from sticking. It'll be cleaned up later on. Now let's go ahead and start plating up the steak. All the way around it. The heat will start cooking it. And for the people who love Persona as much as I do, and you play Persona 4, ladies and gentlemen, that is the famous Persona 4 Mega Beef Bowl! There you go. The Mega Beef Bowl. So, that is how you make the famous Persona Mega Beef Bowl with A5 Ragu, with bean sprouts, rice, teriyaki sauce, all that goodness. Perfection in my eyes. But now, the proof is in the pudding. Like I said, we need to taste it. And me being a person who just likes using chopsticks, I just love using chopsticks. Alright, so what do you guys think? Did I do alright? The Persona Mega Beef Bowl. Now, if I go ahead and lift up one of these pieces of steak that is quite rare and flip it over, it'll be slightly cooked now. And I was right. See? Gastronomy at its finest, ladies and gentlemen. Now let's go ahead and try some of this Wagyu. Slaps! Mmm! You can't go wrong, ladies and gentlemen. And me being a person who is a Brit, doesn't really need to have the chopsticks. Just get the fucking fork and you go ahead and start enjoying yourself before it gets cold. It's hot. Beautiful, well seasoned, hot. It can be a little bit healthier, if you guys want to know. You can change a few things around here for your own personal use. So if you have your own type of dietary needs, you can, of course, change the steak to fish, to chicken, whatever you want. But also you can change the sauces around. So if you don't like teriyaki, you can go ahead and use oyster sauce or just normal different types of sauces. But the recipe is adaptable and you can do whatever you want. But to be honest though, for A5 Wagyu beef for a mega beef bowl is insane. I hate to know how much this dish would cost if you sold it in a restaurant. Mm. I could probably guess probably 40 to 50 pounds easily for this dish. Because mainly the main dish of it, you can make this dish very, very expensive, but hey, that's how it works. Now, if you guys want to see me do this again, probably tomorrow, let me know, and I'll try and think of another dish. But with that being said, leave this with me. I'm going to eat, and I'll see you guys hopefully later on when we carry on playing Rise of the Ronin. Cheerio!